They say there are two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. There is no my truth or your truth. There is simply the truth. And if Handsome Boy Modeling School taught us anything, it's that you can't hide from the truth. Of course, that implies that in the interim of the two contrary stories or sides, or the protagonist versus the antagonist, is a determinator of what truth might just so happen to be. An objective middle path in the narrative, which is not up for debate, but simply is, and most certainly not dependent upon the perspective of the opposing stories themselves. Now, if the premise is accurate, then what that might be suggesting is that when there is a division of similar perspective or synchronous point of view, both spectrums of the division are not exactly in the right, nor are they precisely in the wrong. They are just seeing a thing or a situation from a different point of view, and therefore acting or behaving on that point of view with a certainty from where they are standing, what's before them or around them is truth. Essentially, without a synchronous point of view with one or more characters of the stage of life, all but the interim observer has a blind spot on reality. I mean, any good script writer will tell you that what makes a compelling villain is that he or she truly believes they are the hero of the story, and how you pull that off is making sure his or her motivations to do the thing they're doing are kinda understandable, maybe relatable. The observer of the two spectrums, or protagonist versus antagonist on stage, must be able to see both points of view from outside the drama on the stage, screen, or page. They have to be able to go, I might not agree with that character up there doing what they're doing, but I understand. From the point of view of the villain, the other side or opposing force he or she is doing their villainy upon is or are the villains, and that can get a little nosebleedy if you think about it. Who then is in the right, or who is in the wrong? Where is the truth of a story, or can there be? Is truth beyond the grasp of stories which oppose one another at all, or is the truth somewhere in between the seams of the two, woven into the binding of the book? No one on the stage, but somewhere up on the balcony. Think about any he said, she said you have ever had your awareness brought to, specifically when the division of a synchronous point of view derives from a failed love affair or a statistically high divorce in America. Clearly, at some point, these two spectrums carrying two separate narratives and sources were at one point in one mind and one accord on seeing things the same way, and of course came an impasse of some sort or another, then kablooey, a division in the mutual story they were telling occurs, which I guess was kind of the truth when it wasn't divided, seeing as how there wasn't two sides to a story before they decided to go and do all that nonsense, but whatever. Nevertheless, somebody burnt the toast one too many times, or I don't know, conveniently let an affair just happen, and then the narrative gets split right in two with both character arcs going in the opposite ends of the truth. Is the division of a single story the birthing of a third element of truth, which will judge over both sides? And if all the world's a stage, wouldn't that make the audience or the observer the place where the buck of truth must stop? Then again, haven't there been films or dramas performed where the audience was split down the middle on which story displayed before them was the most empathetic? Sure. In those instances, one would assume that the truth cannot exactly be found in the perspective of an outside observer or observers when such a phenomenon transpires. Where then is truth, if not in the arbitrators of observation from those removed from story A or story B? If the morality or lack thereof from the players on the stage cannot even be determined with certainty from even being outside of whatever the fuck they got going on up there with all that good, and truth does exist, where the hell is it hiding? Because it would stand to reason that if we could align with its perspective, then where we wouldn't be standing is untruth, which is division of a story into two or more. Many a philosopher, mystic, sage, or wise man have oft asked, what is truth? Oh, and Pontius Pilate too. Even to them it seemed just as elusive as it is now to us, especially when presented with the two sides of a story, with both demanding to be branded the truth at all costs in most cases. What seems to be the most efficient way of determining the truth to us is comprehending that while two tales taking different turns may create the truth cannot even be a third point of view, but some perspicacity beyond even that. High in the balcony seat above, watching the stage of the world, the drama of life, the play of our hopes and our dreams, to ensure that everything below is sticking to the child of truth's pen and the script that it scribbles. Be sure in your travels, trials, or tribulations you never forfeit the pen of your own tale, and the balcony of truth is where you will always enjoy the show from. Well, seems true enough for me anyway. That's my story. Sticking to it. Zen in the car, for the spiritually minded liberty activist on the go. Liketh, shareth, subscribeth. It's what the cool kids do.